I'm having a serious Blair Witch moment. Alright folks, so this video is going to be a bit of a different one. I'm currently in deepest, darkest Wales, just in the shadow of the Brecon Beacons, which I'll try and show you in a second. I'm trying to hunt down the location of a place that's kind of haunted me, for want of a better term, for a very long time now. A place called Heol Fanog. And I first heard about it back in the 1990s, and I can't remember what I was watching, but I remember seeing an interview on either a local story somewhere on TV, something like that. A lady called Liz Rich. She was being interviewed about skyrocketing electricity bills, things like that, and black figures that she'd seen. I'll give you a little bit more of the history, but I remember being absolutely captivated by it. And since then, we've had a fair bit of media about it. There's lots and lots of YouTube videos out there. There's a really good book by I can't remember the author's name actually, but a book called Testimony, which is the, if you like, the official story about what happened there. And of course, Danny Robbins, creator of Uncanny, did a really good deep dive in it with a sort of drama, sort of documentary mix called The Witch Farm, which is kind of how it's unofficially known, The Witch Farm. Yeah, real name is Heol Fanog. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I am a quarter Welsh, I think. But yeah, so I think I've found its location on a map. I'm not going to be disclosing where I'm finding it, because as far as I'm aware now, the Riches moved out way back in the 1990s. Their ordeal only lasted about 5-6 years. But actually, people who have lived there since haven't actually reported anything. So, and I think from what I've heard, they want it to be just their home. People obviously should be respectful of that. So I am going to try and find it, just to make a little pilgrimage to it, but I'm not going to be filming the actual building or anything like that at all. Nor am I going to be kind of giving away where it is, because it's a little hard to find. It's taken me quite a long time to actually figure out where it is. But for now, I'm just walking along a country lane, because I'm not doing this in the van. Screw that. I don't do country lanes, especially in the van, which is tough for someone who lives in Devon. But so I'm out of breath. I am in fairly good health. So yeah, I'll just see if something's coming around this corner. Sheep. Random encounter. Load of sheep just in front of me. Guy tearing down after him on a quad bike, dog in tow, and he's just shouting, "Stop him, stop him." Bloody herd of sheep. I tried to get in the way, they ran past me. How would you stop a herd of sheep? Twat. Anyway, I think he was just taking the piss. Anyway, I got one sheep anyway, so not a complete failure. Yeah.
Way before Rich and Bill met, Bill had nearly been inducted into the famous coven of Alexander Sanders, aka the Witch King, but Bill had interrupted the initiation ceremony prior to its completion, an act that seemingly impacted his life thereafter. Bill was a struggling artist whose previous marriage had broken down before he met Liz, and they got married and moved to Heol Fanog with Bill's son of the previous relationship. Not long after moving into the old farm, they started hearing footsteps, bangs, and voices. Their electricity bills soared into hundreds of pounds, way more than they'd ever used. And the electricity companies could not make any kind of account for this. Things also got darker. Objects would move on their own. Liz reported seeing dark figures moving around the house, whilst Bill became increasingly anxious and withdrawn, as if something was actually leeching his energy. They seemed to be plagued by bad luck. Their healthy livestock died. Bill's son became violent and out of character. Many investigators came in to help. Some were more helpful than others. But nothing seemingly could lift this curse from Liz and Bill. They ended up leaving Heol Fanog after a few years, but even afterwards they felt as though they had ended up taking something with them, or as though something had actually physically attached itself to them and continued to feed off of them. Sadly, Bill succumbed to alcoholism in the end. Now, I personally believe that places can absorb things, emotions, trauma and fear, and maybe that's what Heol Fanog is, a kind of spiritual sponge soaked in whatever dark times happened there over the years.
I don't know why I'm whispering. I think it's my ordeal with the farmer earlier on. I couldn't catch his sheep. Just got a weird feeling there are people around here. I mean, it is a working area, but I think I've actually found Heol Fanog. Back in a sec.
Just coming down this stretch of pathway here, you'll see a sign just emerging round the corner. That's a military installation sign or something along those lines. And then just as we come around the corner, you can see a gateway emerging. There it is. And that is the entrance to Heol Fanog. But as I was walking around the corner, I could hear people just on the other side of it working away. Hence why I didn't stop and just carried on going.
I'm actually being a bit of a wimp. Just gone past what I think is Heol Fanog, and there was somebody in there. The door was open, and I just thought, you know what, I got to respect their privacy. But I think this is the land. This is the farmland of Heol Fanog. Beautiful area, really deep into the Brecon Beacons. All those things that supposedly happened here. I'm going to keep it fairly quiet, I think, but it's just nice to have I can actually say I've seen the place, you know. It's not far off from where I've been before, but it does have a little bit of an oppressive feel to the place. I am very, very sceptical about things. Especially when it comes to the paranormal. And it's up for debate, really. I mean, unquestionably some weird things happened to them in that house. But was it an element of mental illness as well in there? Alcoholism? Those things have definitely been suggested on the part of Bill Rich. But, you know, you cannot discount someone's actual experience, and they obviously experienced actual hell in that place. So, yeah. I'm gonna walk back slowly, lower my voice. Okay, so I can confirm that that is indeed Heol Fanog, aka the Witch House, aka the Welsh Amityville. I tried going up to the gate to get a little bit of a souvenir photo of just the house name or something like that, but really creepy old guy with a big bushy beard came out the front door or the side door and just gave me an evil stare. So 2 miles. so I chickened out. But at least I've come and had a look. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't walk up to the place and say, can I talk to you about your creepy house? Yeah, and I'm not good, if I'm being honest, at getting the camera out and just talking to it. Walking and talking, it's not my comfort zone. But anyway, I've done it. Well, nice little pilgrimage to Heol Fanog. Like I said, it's a place that's been fascinating me as a sort of a paranormal skeptic for many, many years, since my childhood really, since I was a young teenager. Yeah, and like I say, it's all up for debate. What's for sure is it's very, very isolated. It has got a little bit of a creepy vibe to it if you allow it to sort of do that to you. And you can understand how living out here with a young family, with alcoholism, with electric bills skyrocketing to hundreds and hundreds of pounds, black figures being seen, all these things was just a melting pot really. And it's tormented Liz and Bill and their children. But whether it was paranormal or not, open for debate. Anyway, that's kind of it. I can now say I've found Heol Fanog. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna do it. Give me a like if you like it. Subscribe if you really, really want to. Yeah, place a few little comments down here. Be nice to one another. None of that correcting each other bullshit. Don't do that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you do like these videos, do let me know. And this little fledgling YouTube channel will hopefully grow a little bit. I've got a few ideas, a little bit more so now, and a little bit more time. So there will be some more things to come. Some more stuff from Wayne's Weird World. Cheerio.